So 2018 was the worst year of my life. My best friend died, and I found out I was atheist while going to a Christian high school. I know it's crazy. After 4 years of going to a Christian high school, I found out that I was atheist and I don't really believe in any God, but I'm not out here to disprove your God and what you believe in. I'm just here to share my story and my emotions and how I felt spiritually at the time, and how I feel that being put in an environment that's supposed to idolize God and like praise Him, it just pulled me completely out of it, and it made me realize, for me at least, that my belief was a delusion. Not a delusion, illusion, or brought on by the environment that I was in, because the people there were not reflecting the things they taught. So this video is just for me. I know there's going to be a bunch of Christians who comment down below, well, God just didn't touch your heart yet, you just need to wait. Been waiting 20 years, almost 21 in December. Been waiting 20 years for that. So this is going to be a video where it's just me talking my emotions, my story, and giving you a little different perspective, I guess, if you're raised in a Christian household like I was, Christian Catholic, or going to one of these Christian private institutions. So yes, this video will not be that heavily edited. For that reason, I will try to get through it without much pauses, but please forgive me if I stammer, and please forgive me if I sweat. We are in Florida in the summer, and if you know, you already know this heat this year is crazy, and I only have the fan on my air condition so it wouldn't like get messed up with the sound of what I'm saying. So yes, we will begin in 2018, freshman year of my year of Christian high school. I will not be giving out the name of the high school or any teachers. I'll be using fake names if anything is mentioned. So y'all not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it. And if you do, I tried. I tried to hide it, but 2018, let me give you some background. I was a Christian Catholic. I did that whole thing where the priest washes your feet. I completed all of that stuff. I literally forgot what it's called. That's how much I don't care. I literally forgot what it's called. But something in the Catholic faith, you know. If you had to go through it, you talk to your father. The priest washes your feet, and you get like commissioned in front of the whole church or something. Anyways, I went through that, and I was a believer in God. Was I firmly believing? I don't think so, but because of my parents and because of just being like younger, like 14, 15, I think it was, yeah, 14 when you go into freshman. So I must have been 14 at the time, and just a younger mindset, like you're more prone to believe in stuff, like it comes easily to you. So that I had a belief in God, and I think it was a little bit harder for me to believe in God because I have Anastasia, if that's how you say it. It's the thing where like you can't imagine in your mind. Like I thought everyone was lying to me when they said they can imagine stuff. I can't. Like when I close my eyes and try to imagine an apple, I think in my mind the word apple. I could think what an apple is, like red leaves, grows on a tree, but I can't like physically see it in my mind's eye as other people can. I thought everybody was lying. But I think that had something to do with my belief at the time. But I was still a firm believer in God. Like I would pray every now and then, and I would generally get afraid of God most of the time, and most of the time I would be afraid of God more than me like believing. Like I would pray because I was afraid I was going to die, or afraid of God like punishing me and sending me to hell. So I think that, looking back on that, I think that is a very telling factor of what type of belief I was. I didn't believe in him really. I just believed in him like protecting me, or in that sense. So anyway, yeah, I believed in God. And how I even got into this private institution was because of my mother and my older sister. She found out she was lesbian at her public high school. And my mom did not like that. So she sent me to a Christian school to make sure that I wasn't lesbian. But I'm pansexual. And I lean towards femme. Don't tell her. It's a secret. But it didn't work. But yeah, she sent me to this institution, and I was really sad because I would go to this high school that was K through 12. So literally these kids have been together like their whole entire like lives, except for like some of them transferring in with freshmen. Like it was just like, I'd say around 6 of us out of like it was a small private school, so every class would have like, I'd say every grade would have like around I want to say almost 50 students, which is kind of small for a high school. But these kids knew each other, and like 6 new people did not know each other. So I was already sad that I had to leave my friends, I had to leave everything. So I go to the Christian high school. For the first couple of months, I'd say it was good, like socially, academically, it was really above my level. So I failed the first semester, and my mother got really upset with me for that. But it was above my learning education, and I failed the first semester, and that trickled down to me like becoming a C student when I was a BA student in public education. So I think that really hindered my learning like experience. And yes, so freshman year, it's pretty good. I hang out with these nerdy kids, like just like me, like they like anime, like they draw, like we just talk about funny stories that happened to us. And it was really, I would say freshman year was my best year at that high school, which is really telling because I say it's the worst year of my life, 2018. So yes, first few months really good. Only thing about it that we had to go to chapel like every Tuesday. Last few years they changed it to Wednesday, but every Tuesday we would go to chapel. Like I think like we had a Bible period, so every Bible period on Tuesday we would just go to the chapel on campus. So 2018. So we go to chapel, we learn, like I'm still believing, I have my group of friends, but in the cafeteria, I just remembered the memory. They started like limiting how many people could sit at a table, and I was, I'm like the new kid in the group, so everybody was just like, okay, well, we only have this many chairs, so Paris, I guess you can go somewhere else. And I didn't really have any more friends out of this nerdy group that I was in because I was like a nerdy kid. Looking back at it, some like girls that I thought were out of my league wanted to be friends with me. Like we connected because we came from public schools too. Like we transferred in from public schools, so we had that like understandings and like more like fierce nature than the people that were there. Like we had that like we had that thug understandings. Not that they were black, one was Hispanic and one was black, but yeah, we had that understandings. Like we know, like just looking at each other, we know. But I didn't have any other friends, and all the other tables were full. So I get my food and I sit down at this one table that was like almost empty. Like I think 2 other kids were sitting in there, and I sat at the other side. And then out of nowhere, this flux of, I would say, like popular students came, and they sat at the table we were sitting at. And I didn't say that much. I just ate my food and then went on my phone. And then I hear, like, they split up into two tables, like, because we the three of us, like, we already took up some chairs, so half the populace is over here. At our table, I'm sitting, like, right here, let's say, and then there's another table right here, and so I'm sitting back to back with this other kid, and I think a girl says to this guy named, we're gonna say his name is George. So she's sitting next to this guy named George, and George is, like, eating, I guess, extra that day. And so she says, George, I can't understand. How can you eat all that and still be that skinny? Or something along the lines, like, how could you eat like that? Because I think George used to be fat, and then he got really skinny. And I think she said more of lines to, I can't believe you were blank amount of pounds. And she's like, how do you even get like that? And then he's just like, look behind you. That's how. And then I hear snickering. Obviously, I heard what he said. And I don't know, I broke down. I completely shut down. I got emotionless. I was crying we went back to class and I just started crying. I walked out the classroom, went to the bathroom, and I was crying. And then after like 15 minutes, one of my I would say, like, staff members, administrators, like, she called, like, someone, like, my teacher obviously called the front office or something and told her about it. And she came to the bathroom, and I was crying, and she was like, okay, well, if you want to tell me what's wrong, you gotta get back to class. And I'm just like, I'm literally in the bathroom sobbing, and she just does not care at all. So I'm literally, like, livid, like, I'm just in the bathroom, completely broken down, and she just says, you gotta get back to class, you gotta get back to class, you gotta get back to class. No emotion, no concern, no remorse. And then she's like, if you don't come back to class, you literally have to go to the principal's office. You have to sit in the front office until your mom could come pick you up or something. So I go do that, and I'm literally bawling my eyes out. And next to me is the guy who's George, who said this to me. And he got in trouble for doing something else. Like, this, it was not relating to what he said to me. He got in trouble for doing something else, and because he was a frequent troublemaker, and he just looks over to me, and I think because no one else was around, he felt some sort of, like, remorse. Like, in normal, like, if we were in the classroom, he would have laughed at me, but because no one else was around, like, student wise, he looks at me and he says, are you okay? What happened? And I didn't even answer him. I think I just got up and moved to a different chair. So it was just fakeness, like, fakeness all around, from students, from the friend group, from students, I would always be left out. From teachers, I would always be left out. And there was favoritism in the school, and it showed. It showed hard. So I think that's how I adapted into my lone wolf, like, persona. Like, I'm very, like, I'm okay being by myself because I was conditioned to do that in high school. So that was the first incident where I was like, wow, would Jesus, like, approve of this, what they're doing here? And I would say no. And then so I would say, like, next semester, my mom, I had two dogs. My mom, and one was my best friend. His name was Teddy. He was a little black and white Pomeranian with these cute brown eyes. I literally loved that dude. I loved him so much. I told him everything. Like, he was my rock. Every time I'm gonna cry thinking about it. Every time I would come home after a stressful day, I'd literally come to Teddy. I'm so sorry. But I really did love him. I love that dog. So, I'm trying to keep it in. So, so my grandma was in the hospital for a time being, and I was watching, the dogs, feeding them. And my mom was just like, since my grandma wasn't here to help me, like, with the work, like, walking, I guess I came home one day and I accidentally missed walking, like, my dogs, and my mom came home on a rampage saying, I have to get these dogs out of here, I have to get these dogs out of here. And my older sister, this is not the lesbian, my older sister, like, agrees with her and, like, spurs her on. And so the next day I go to school and I come back home. They're gone. They're gone. So I spent the day literally crying my eyes out on the staircase because Teddy was old. He had arthritis. He always used to cough. I knew they put him down. There's no way they let that dog live. I know that in my heart. I know they put him down. So the next day I go to school, and I am obviously depressed and crying like almost every single period. So I get to my math period, and my teacher keeps like edging me on, like, oh, what happened, Bears, tell us. So I told her that my dog got pulled down and he was my best friend. But I think I said something along the lines of, it doesn't matter now, because I know I didn't say it doesn't matter now, but I said, at least I know he's in heaven. And my teacher literally stops, looks at me. I see her smile, go immediately to an anger, like, stunned face. Like, she's like, no, he's not. And I'm just like, what? She's like, your dog did not have a soul, therefore he's not going to heaven. Straight face to my face. She's like, your dog doesn't have a soul, he's not going to heaven. If anything, he's in hell. That's what she told me. The day after my dog dies, this is what this woman tells me. Straight face with no remorse. I'm just like, I pretty much had it at that point. So I'm like, so God would create these creatures that are beautiful, magnificent, and loving animals, and you just say they have no souls? I don't believe that. I can't believe that animals don't have souls. I can't. Because animals have emotions. Elephants hold funerals. Like, if you're gonna say that they have no emotions, that's literally impossible. That they're soulless, that's impossible. That they act on instinct, that's impossible. Animals are as alive as you and me. Maybe a bit lesser because we don't see them having, like, a conscious mind, but they are alive. They are alive as you and me. So to hear that from that woman, it was just soul crushing. I don't even remember what happened after that, but I think she just continued teaching. Like, she was completely uninterested in what I had to say anymore because I thought my dog went to heaven. So I'm like faltering. I think this was towards the end of the school year, my home period. My teacher was a guy, and I was not mentally there. So that day I was not mentally there. So I had a little freak out because, like, a zipper on my thing broke. So after school, like, a little freak out, like, it wasn't big. I was just making a joke about it because yeah, I was just making a joke about it. Most of the kids around me laughed because I was a class clown. I was like, I better make a joke before they make fun of me. And so yeah, that was my persona for some years. And so yes, he called after school. He calls my mother, and he says he recommends therapists to me. He says I'm not stable. That the kids are scared of me, and I'm a 14-year-old girl who just cries a lot. I'm very open. There might be some mental issues there, but I'm not sure. I may have some mental issues. I'm not completely sure, but I don't think I'm not a harm to anybody like that. And I think he was in a good nature, but you don't tell that to a black mother, a black Gen X, is it mother after millennials? I can't say that word. After millennials, that's my mom. So Gen X. You don't say that to a black Gen X mother. They don't believe in mental health. They don't believe in anything. They think you can do whatever you can do it as long as you have much power and much education and you study hard and you work hard. You can do anything. That's what she believes in. So I came home. I got screamed at, and I had the worst mental breakdown ever. I literally destroyed some of my figures I had on my table because I just had a freak out, and I was screaming, and his heart was in the right place, I believe, but it was just something you don't tell a black mother that information. So yes, that was freshman year. Sophomore year was a bit better. Yeah, I'd say sophomore year was a bit better for me. I don't have any really bad events from there, or at least in my memory. But I was getting like to the point where I'm like, God can't be real. He can't be real. I was just like, God can't be real, and if he is, he's not in these people. That was my thinking, because the staff would just constantly look for me and look to point out things that I did while everybody else could be doing something. Look for me, point out things that I did, and use that against me or get me in trouble. Oh, I didn't even talk about my health teacher. She was crazy, and she hated me like the burning, like everything. She hated me. She hated me so much. In gym class, I was laying on like the the bench, the benches, the bleachers. I was laying on the bleachers, and a couple other kids were doing it, and she just yells at me across the like gym, Paris, you need to sit up right now, in the hillbilly country accent. And I did, and then I'm like pointing out, like, look around, we're all laying down, and then all she says is, oh, so and so, can you please sit up? And that was just one incident. I have many incidents with her. That was just one. But yes, the staff would always single me out. They would always look for me instead of everybody else. Like if I'm doing something bad or like out of someone's way, they look for me. And so yeah, sophomore year, junior year, I had a biology teacher. He was very creepy towards me and other female students. Very predatory behavior. He would follow girls' Instagrams and like their pictures, and he wouldn't comment, but he would like their pictures. And in class, we would always catch him like staring at girls' chest areas and their butts. It was very disturbing. We told staff like in notes, and they did nothing about it. So senior year is really where I had it up to here. There's many events from senior year. They're gonna be out of order because that's just how it is. But senior year was probably not the worst year there, but no, it was the worst year there. It was the worst year there. I had the staff member, the same staff member from earlier when I talked about she was in the bathroom, like, just go to class, just go to class, just go to class. She comes, I'm in the hallway on my phone before school starts. And I'm just like on my phone in the hallway, and she's like, put your phone away. So I look up at her. I think I rolled my eyes because I'm a very emotional person. I think I rolled my eyes and I put my phone away. She was like, what did you just do? I was like, I put my phone away. And she's like, give me your phone. I said, why? For what? And she said, do you want to go to the office? I'm like, why did you take my phone? Why do you want my phone? And she's like, let's go to the office. Come up with me right now. So I follow her to the office. And I'm just like, bro, I knew something bad was going to happen to me today. Because me and this staff lady always used to fight. Always. Not fight like physically, but fight verbally. Like, she would always look and pick on me. So I knew, like, I just knew some bullshit was coming this entire day. So I walk into the principal's office with her. I've never been in this dude's principal's the office before, but I just knew I was not going to win this ever, cause American flags plastered on the wall, MAGA, 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 like, holy shit, like, oh my god, like, you wouldn't believe the amount of American, like, First, Second Amendments, like, the imprints of a rifle on his above his, like, head staff. I was like, I'm not winning this. So we talk about the situation. I tell her what happened, and he's like, so just give her your phone or else we will suspend you. And I have a black mom, so I'm just like, are you kidding? That's not gonna happen. So they call my mom. My mom, I could tell she's siding with me on the phone, but she's just like, just give it to them. I don't want to come pick you up. Just give it to them. So I had to stand down and give them my phone for the whole day. And then after that, they had the heart to say, let's come together in prayer. I stood up and walked out the office. I was so tired of their bullshit. And that brings me to Bible class in senior year. So Bible class, we have, like, our new teacher gives us some information. So our new teacher, like, he has a new curriculum. I don't know why I said information. He has a new curriculum. He's new to the school, so he's like, every time we go to chapel, you gotta write something down. You have to answer this chapel worksheet, and you gotta put in the right answers. And I was just like, so what did you learn today? So I would literally put nothing, because I'm not atheist. Because at this point, I'm a full-on atheist. Just from all the experience, I'm just like, I'm full-on atheist. God does not exist. If he does, he fucked me. He fucked me hard. Yeah, so I was just at this, at the Bible study. He would be like, what did you learn today? I'd be like, nothing. And he's like, what's 2 things you could, add to your life? And I'm like, nothing. And then I would always just answer nothing, nothing, nothing. And he would, and after one day, he's like, I think it was like something to do, like, the chapel was something to do with, like, respect. And the chapel worksheet was like, do you find that we respect you as a staff, as a family? And I said no. And and then another question was like, do you trust us? I said no. And then he's like, do you think we care about you? I said no. So after answering all that, the next day, in math class, a completely different class, I get called to his office. So I go to his office, and he's like, so I just have to tell you that we do care about you, and we love you, and God is always with us. I've seen in your answers at chapel that you been playing around, fooling around, and I realized that's probably why your grade is a D in our in my class.